Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we are celebrating Libra season. Libra has a very special place in my heart. As you all know, Jamie, my boyfriend, is a Libra. I have come across very little Libras in my life, but the Libras that do come into my life, they're very special to me. I have a long life friend of mine. We met at my first ever job when we were waitresses, and we've followed the same sort of path. She is currently in her first year teaching. The most gentle soul you'll ever meet. I have a really good friend from high school who's a Libra, just an amazing person to be around. And of course Jamie, who is a Libra, and he's the most peaceful human I've ever met. So Libra season has been beautiful, and that's the best word I can put it. Everything is beautiful. I feel beautiful. I feel like it's time to care for myself and care for the people I care about around me, and I've really put into perspective who means the most to me. Libra represents balance, partnership. The most common theme for me during Libra season is always balancing work and personal life, but this time it's been a little bit different. It's been balancing me and everyone around me. I feel like I'm someone who loves to give a lot. I feel like I love to give to the people that I care about. As a teenager, I feel like all teenagers are pretty selfish, and I did go through a particularly selfish stage, maybe like 14, 15, almost 16 kind of, and I feel like I've come out of that a lot, and everything I do is to benefit myself. And I feel like the myself part has kind of run a little bit dry lately. So the biggest part of Libra season has been replenishing my soul and what I need, and being a little bit selfish. I've talked about this many times, but an update on my studies for those who don't know, because I constantly get questions about what I'm studying. I am studying to be a primary school teacher. I'm in my first year. I'm 2 weeks off finishing, so I just got my exams to go. I just finished my biggest assessment of the whole year, which is when you go into a school and you are to be in control and plan for a day. I ended up planning for a whole week, and I was in control 3 to 4 days, so that's a lot more than what was expected of me, but it's what I wanted to do, and I felt like it was necessary for me to grow in my career. I was tired, a little bit stressed in the beginning. It was all incredibly rewarding and worthwhile, because when I sat down for my final discussion, the feedback I got was just like amazing and so special to hear from someone you don't really know. You've been trying to build a professional relationship with them for the past month or so. To hear that feedback from a colleague was amazing, and it made me realize just how I am where I'm meant to be, and this career is perfect for me, and it makes me feel fulfilled, happy. I think there was only one day I came home out of the 4 weeks that I was just exhausted, and that was a day that we had a relief teacher. So there you go. I had a really amazing experience, and because of being so busy, I haven't really been able to upload videos, and I've learned that that's okay. I'll upload when I want, and the great thing is when I'm not uploading, I'm still thinking about when I'm going to upload, even if it's not in that week. Like, I'm still thinking, and editing videos is so much fun for me. So I know we're in Scorpio season now. Amazing. I don't know how to feel about it, because I've just enjoyed Libra season so much. Libra season is always just a really lovely time because it's the beginning of springtime for us. I know it's everyone in the northern hemisphere's autumn, but there's something about Libra and the Libra colors I associate. I always associate Libra with like pretty colors like this, like pinks and whites mostly, and like really light green. I've got a crystal. The crystal I've been thinking about the most is Prehnite, which is this really beautiful light pastel-y green. And the reason I have henna all over my hands is because the lovely Indian ladies at the school I was at, we were celebrating Diwali and they insisted that I got some henna. They dressed me up, I wore a sari, I had a bindi, and I just felt like really special because Indian culture is something that I really love, and I really would hope to go to India in the next few years to celebrate that with the school, because within that school there is predominantly Indian children. So it was really cool. We had a really special day and it was lovely to just be a part of a culture and watch all of the students do their performances. Like, it was really lovely. Libra season is just really, I love it because Libra is an air sign, and when you initially think about it, it's interesting because Libras are very social, but they're very gentle socializers. They love to just be around loving people, and Libras often give a bit too much than what they should, is what I've noticed, is they give a lot and they somewhat are people pleasers. Like, Jamie is such a people pleaser. He will forget about himself and he will just go out of his way to make sure everyone else is happy, even if it's not making him happy. It's hard to say how I felt this season because a lot of it has been me in school and working. I've spent so much time there recently, it feels like it's weird that it's over. I know I keep going on and on and on about it, but it's been such a big part of my year and current situation that it's kind of hard not to focus on that. I've definitely unlocked my intuitive nature. Being at the school and being able to read children so clearly, that was one thing I got really good feedback on. They were amazed by how I was able to not focus on myself and how I was being presented in the classroom, but offering myself to the children to the point where I could alter and navigate a lesson to help them with their learning and fill the gaps that they were missing. And I was amazed because I planned for 2 weeks of maths as well, and I ended up teaching my year 2 kids fractions. They're little wizards at it now, so that was really cool. And I taught them how to write an introduction to their story. I taught them how to brainstorm. Like, it was so amazing to be able to set up a plan to do something and you accomplished it. The best thing was when I left, there was this little boy, and his name was Aries, funnily enough, and he had a younger brother called Leo, which I thought was quite funny. I noticed a lot about him. He's very quiet, kept to himself a lot. He had friends and he was a very well-liked boy, but he just wasn't a giving, emotionally he was almost like shut off. I would talk to him and he would be very expressionless. There was one lesson in particular where we were drawing our Tamanui Teira, which is the Māori sun god, and Aries, when he saw my drawing, he took a real interest in me for the first time in those 2 beginning weeks that I was there. And he was just really, you could tell he didn't want to, he was trying to hide his excitement. He would secretly talk to his friends, but he wouldn't talk to me about it. And he kept saying, I'm going to draw a really cool sun like Miss Harwood's. I want to copy Miss Harwood's. And you could tell that I'd become a bit of a role model to him, and it was really warming. Just that small step meant a lot, you know, to see a child connect with you because they could see what you were offering as a teacher and they wanted to learn from you, because he is a child that is very, if he doesn't want to learn, he won't learn, you know. He has to be very inspired to get going. I later found out he was a Sagittarius, so there you go. It's also interesting looking at all the kids' star signs, and a majority of the kids were Pisces. I've never been around so many Pisces children, and also my favorite kids were all Capricorns, Pisces, and Taurus children, which I thought was really weird because those are kind of the signs that I'm predominantly around. My 2 best friends are Capricorn and Taurus. Continuing on with Aries, the last day he came up and gave me the biggest hug, and to see a child who doesn't show their emotions very well to hug me, and he did it a few times. He was very, like, he was saying, I'm gonna miss you, and to hear those, like, it was just so heartwarming to connect with a child and get them to open up and become personable with you, because he went from not having an interest in me in the slightest to being, you know, opening up. The biggest thing that made the days easy to get through was interacting with the children. Like, if I was sitting in the staff room and I was like, I'm gonna go visit the kids, I would walk around the playground and to see their little faces and interacting with you was really special. And funnily enough, Aries is opposite Libra, and I feel like a lot of my childlike characteristics came out, and that was by being around children. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself and my role as a teacher. I've learned a lot about being a teacher. I've learned so much about myself and what I need, and when I'm a busy lady getting things done, what's important to me. And yeah, so Scorpio season, it's in my 9th house of travel and philosophy. I'm suddenly really determined to look into tarot more, to the point where I don't rely on my phone to help me, because I use this app called Golden Thread, which helps me kind of decode the tarot if I'm a bit stuck. But I'm at the point now where I want to analyze and research, so then I know it. I know every single little aspect, and I'm able to fluently give readings, because tarot is something that I really love, and I connect with it. I think that's my power, if that makes sense. Like, when I think of witches, I think of, like, I'm a tarot witch. Does that make sense? Like, if you had to pick a magic power, what would it be? Ultimately, Libra season's been beautiful, and I don't really have much else to say, because I've been so busy with the little things, making more meaning to my relationships, my friendships. I just edited my Spotify playlist, and I am just in love with it right now. I watched Grease last night. Like, music has really been a good thing for me during Libra season, and I feel like because Libra is ruled by Venus, music comes under that category. So if you want to follow me on Spotify, it's just Liv Harwood. A lot of people have been having trouble with the link below, so I will edit that. But if you want to follow me on Spotify, go for it. I think that's really all I have to say. I'm really sorry about the late upload. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!